Today's Chiefs mailbag is presented by Fetch Rewards. This app allows you to earn points by scanning receipts, which you can later redeem for gift cards. Any receipt from any store or restaurant counts. You build up those points, you can cash them in for gift cards from various stores and restaurants. Get started today at chatsports.com/fetch and get 3,000 bonus points with promo code Chiefs. Let's start with Billy B. Should we consider a running back later in the draft? I think it's possible, Billy. You know, you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire probably for 2 more years, and that's it. I don't think his 5th-year option gets picked up. And, Darrell Williams, Jerick McKinnon, free agents, do they both return? We'll see. McKinnon was at Patrick Mahomes' bachelor party. Maybe that's significant. Maybe it's not. Who knows? I would like to keep him for next year. But I think there's a good chance one of Williams and McKinnon is gone. And then maybe you draft a guy in like the 5th or 6th round. Dustin Tammon, I hear a lot of big-time receivers, people wanting the Chiefs to sign. Is it even a viable option with the amount of holes to fill on defense? Well, you think about the defense. So, yeah, the defensive line is going to need probably an overhaul. You got Chris Jones, but beyond that, you need 2, maybe 3 starters in that unit. I think in linebacker, you're pretty good. Add a cheapish number 3 linebacker next to Willie Gay and Nick Bolton. Safety, obviously, you need someone to replace Mathieu, or you need to bring him back. And then Charvarius Ward's a name to watch. So, yeah, you're looking at maybe 4, 5-ish starters on defense. So that's notable. But on offense, your O-line's completely set. You're going to bring back Orlando Brown, so that's good. Running backs, you're not going to spend big money there. Maybe you sign or draft a cheap one. Tight end, I think you're good as well. You've got enough depth behind Kelce. Maybe you draft a guy on day 3, but you won't have to spend a lot of money there. Receiver, that's the one spot. So I think it's possible. I'm not saying they're going to sign someone $15 million a year, but could you sign like a Christian Kirk or someone like that? I think that's a possibility. Sarah Wynn, what do you think about signing Edmonds from the Cardinals? Talking about Chase Edmonds. Is kind of a rotation back. If it's cheap, sure, like $3 million or less. But I mean, if he's more than that, then I would just bring back Darrell Williams or Jerick McKinnon. I think they're in similar tiers as Edmonds. Maybe Edmonds is a tick better, but I think that that's kind of semantics. I think you can get by with just an average rotation. Honey Badger's watching. What's your gut feeling on you? Is Tyrann Mathieu going to be gone? Well, Tyrann, if this is you, I think that my gut feeling is if you said, hey, you got to choose today or else, I would say I think he's gone, but I've been wrong before, and I wouldn't say I'm 100% confident. But if I had to guess, I'm going to guess that he's gone. But I'd say it's like 55-60% he's gone, 40-45% he returns. It depends on what the Chiefs value with their cap space that they end up creating this offseason. Do they want to bring back Honey Badger? Do they think that he's a guy that they can afford to let go? So I would like to bring him back. I don't think the Chiefs will overpay, though, and if he wants top dollar, it's not going to come from Kansas City. Will Tyrann Mathieu return next season? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, scroll on down and answer this question. Come back up. More questions to be answered. ZT Gaming, would you like to trade up in the draft for a defensive end or trade for one? I do think defensive end is a spot that the Chiefs need to value this offseason. Look, they tried it with Frank Clark with some success, but overall, I would say he's underachieved based on the contract they got. Do you bring back Melvin Ingram, even if you do, that he's not going to have 12 sacks or something like that? I do think defensive end is probably the biggest need on this roster this year, so I think spending a first-round pick, maybe even trading up for one, does make some sense. Arthur Miller, are we getting a wide receiver? Sure. Now, that answer might be just re-signing Byron Pringle and or DeMarcus Robinson. But yes, the Chiefs will obviously have to add some receivers because Tyreek Hill and Mecole Hardman are really the only 2 primary ones under contract. Owen Donaldson, the Chiefs draft Daxton Hill for the first round. I think it's possible. I think number 30 pick is kind of the range for him. Late first, maybe he slides early second. But cornerback that has some safety experience, could play some nickel as well. I like him as a player. I would prefer a pass rusher, but Dax Hill is certainly an intriguing prospect. Beach 303, would you trade Mecole Hardman and say a second or third for Mekhi Becton? I mean, I like Becton, but a couple of issues here. Let me double check one thing here before I get this right or wrong. Mekhi Becton, yeah, he's a left tackle. That's the issue. Well, you going to kick him to right or kick Orlando Brown to right? You know, I don't think that's going to happen. If he was a right tackle or a willing right tackle, sure, like he's an upgrade over Lucas Niang, but I actually think the O-line's fine. You have an elite left tackle. You have all three of your interior, center, left guard, right guard, are all good, and Lucas Niang's above average at right tackle. So, yeah, I think the O-line's fine overall. Now, Fetch Rewards is more than fine. It is the best app on the planet, and here is why. Because it's an app that allows you to scan your receipts from anywhere, your grocery store, your local mom and pop, online orders as well. You scan receipts, you earn points, you turn them into gift cards. Simple process for you guys. Grab your pile, start scanning like in this video demonstration. Get those points. Once you get the points, the confetti pops, and then you are able to build up more points. And as you get more points, you're able to get bigger rewards, bigger gift cards from places like Walmart, Target, Apple. Also, you can get restaurants, Chili's, Olive Gardens. A lot of the chain ones are on there. Some local ones in bigger cities as well. But get started today. Chatsports.com/fetch. That link will be in the comments and the description of this video. Plus, promo code Chiefs gets you 3,000 bonus points. All right, Fourth Eye Kingdom. Should the Chiefs sign a proven backup quarterback or roll with Shane Buechele? Interesting question. I haven't gotten a lot of QB questions from you guys. Obviously, when you have Patrick Mahomes, there aren't going to be a lot. But I don't think backup quarterback is an underrated aspect moving forward. I mean, here are 5 names I cooked up here as backup QB options. Sure, you could bring back Chad Henne. And this is outside of Shane Buechele. He could be the backup as well. Chad Henne, if you want to bring him back for another year, if he wants to play for another year, okay. He's not going to play forever, though. Tyrod Taylor, he's a great backup, lots of starting experience, takes care of the football. I've always liked him as a backup. Andy Dalton, I think he'd be a good backup as well. He knows Matt Nagy. Played under him in Chicago last year. I don't know how he feels about Nagy, but you've got that connection. Jacoby Brissett, a good backup as well. Marcus Mariota, I wonder if he's going to try and start somewhere, but if he can't find one of those gigs, a backup role could be valuable. Plus, he's been in the division the past couple of years with the Las Vegas Raiders. So what do you guys think? Who do you want is the Chiefs' backup quarterback next season? If Shane Buechele progresses enough, I'd be fine with him because he's cheap and he's young. He's got a strong arm and he's been in the system for a year now. I'd be fine with him. But if you want more of a proven guy, out of those guys we'd mentioned, Tyrod Taylor, Jacoby Brissett, those are good options. I don't think the Chiefs want to spend a lot of money on a backup, but if you could get one of those options I mentioned for like $4 million or less, I think that could be beneficial as well. A few more questions on this mailbag. Tony Fuentes, glad that Nagy's back. Hope he stays in KC for a long time. So there's been a lot of, and I'm probably going to have to do a video on this, there's a lot of chatter that the Chiefs view Matt Nagy as the long-term replacement for Andy Reid. And I'm conflicted about this because I've watched the Bears super closely, as a lot of you guys know, cover them as well. Things unraveled in Chicago with him as the head coach. Now, a lot of guys don't do well their first time as a head coach. They regroup. When they get a second chance, they're much better. Bill Belichick. But man, it got bad quickly. I think Kansas City is a perfect landing spot for him. Get back to where he's comfortable. That's under Andy Reid. Restock the image here. And then, yeah, maybe down the road, that's a possibility. But I do think we're years away on that possibly happening. Young Craze, thoughts on drafting John Metchie? Like him. I think third round, it makes sense for him. Second round maybe because the Chiefs are at the tail end there, but I'd rather get him in the third. But good player, good route runner, not super flashy, but solid. OG Beam, J.C. Jackson or Stephon Gilmore? I like Jackson's younger. He gets more takeaways probably at this point, but he's probably going to cost more. So whoever's cheaper, but I actually don't think either of these guys is super likely. But I'd be ecstatic if one of them chose the Chiefs. All right, follow me on Twitter at HGramNFL, at HGramNFL. We answer as many questions as we can on these mailbags, but if your question doesn't get answered or if you have another one, follow me there, slide in the DMs, and we will answer over there as well.